The HOA president burned my house to ground to stop financial audit, exposing her stealing $163,000. What she didn't know, I'm county magistrate who would sign her arrest warrant. And I'd installed hidden cameras 2 weeks before arson, capturing everything. I'm Nathan Cross, 54-year-old widower in Jefferson County, Colorado. What I'm about to tell you is how HOA board president named Valerie Hammond committed arson against my 1920s craftsman restoration project to prevent audit revealing systematic embezzlement. How she studied enough law to weaponize code enforcement, but made one fatal mistake she forgot. Judges document everything. And how her overconfidence in connections and intimidation led to felony conviction when she confessed on camera, thinking she could threaten county official into silence. This happened between February 2024 and October 2024 in neighborhood called Pinewood Heights, 32 miles west of Denver. Every detail is real. Every document is filed with Jefferson County. By time you finish reading, you'll understand why most dangerous criminal isn't someone who acts impulsively. It's someone who plans methodically, but underestimates their victim's patience. Phone rang at 2:51 a.m. Neighbor screaming, "Nathan, your house is on fire." Got there by 3:37 to pure chaos. Firefighters in defensive mode. My craftsman engulfed. Thick smell of gasoline everywhere. Across street sat white Lexus SUV. Engine running. Valerie Hammond, watching blaze-like entertainment. She thought nobody saw her. But I had cameras, and I wasn't just homeowner. I was magistrate who'd sign her warrant 72 hours later. After my wife Catherine died 4 years ago, pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. 16 months diagnosis to funeral. I needed something to rebuild. Not just emotionally, physically. Something where I could see progress. I'm Jefferson County Magistrate, 3 days weekly. Traffic violations. Small claims. Municipal ordinances. Other 4 days, I restore historical properties. Catherine grew up in 1920s. Craftsman. Yellow clapboard. Deep porch. Those thick columns looking like tree trunks. Every holiday, we'd visit her childhood home in Boulder. She'd walk me through pointing out details. Original crown molding. Built-in breakfast nook. How afternoon light hit hardwood. When I found near identical craftsmen in Pinewood Heights, February 2024, I didn't haggle. Closed in 3 days. Plan was simple. Gut renovate it. Restore every detail Catherine described. Then donate as transitional housing for cancer survivors. Place where people could heal without worrying about rent. House smelled like my grandfather's workshop. Old pine. Plaster dust. That specific scent of wood holding up walls for century. Floorboards creaked under boots at 6 a.m. before world woke. I loved it immediately. Then I met Valerie Hammond. Showed up day, I closed on property. Heard her heels on gravel before I saw her. Sharp clicks like metronome set to annoyed. Blonde bob. Tennis visor even though it was February and overcast. Clipboard-like weapon. Your lawn situation is unacceptable. No, hello? No, welcome. I looked at grass. Was February? Grass was dormant. CC and R's state grass height maximum, 2.5 inches. This is 4.8. I measured. She pulled out tape measure. Actual tape measure. I laughed. Thought she was joking. She wasn't. $175 fine. Certified mail follows. Her perfume hit next. Aggressively floral. Like funeral lilies stuffed into Windex bottle. I'm Valerie Hammond. Ho, President. Fifth term. Said it like announcing royalty. I introduced myself. Kept polite. Figured just bureaucratic overzeal. Small town HOA president with too much time. Over next 4 weeks, I got 9 certified letters, each one arriving like clockwork. Each one more absurd than last. First week mailbox, wrong shade of black. Apparently graphite noir, unacceptable. Only midnight onyx meets code. I didn't even know mailbox black came in named shades. Pulled out my phone and Googled it. Same color. Literally identical. But Valerie had attached paint chip comparison showing 0.02% difference in RGB values. She'd used professional color matching equipment to prove violation. Second certified letter, construction dumpster, visible from street even though I'd applied for permits, still pending approval. Dumpster was sitting in my driveway, 23 feet from street, behind my truck. You literally couldn't see it unless you walked onto my property. But Valerie included photos taken from 3 different angles, including one shot from inside my property line, proving visibility. Third letter. Work truck parked in my own driveway overnight. Contractors F250 with ladder rack. Violation of CC&R section 7.3 commercial vehicles, prohibited from overnight parking, my driveway, my property. But apparently truck with company logo violated aesthetic standards. Never mind that 2 board members had identical work trucks parked in their driveways. Those were grandfathered exceptions. Fourth letter, unapproved exterior paint sample visible from public right-of-way. This was me testing wood stain on back porch, completely invisible from street on 2x4 scrap piece. But Valerie had walked onto my property without permission, photographed it through back gate, and filed violation claiming unapproved structural modification. Fifth letter, excessive noise during prohibited hours. I was using miter saw at 2:47 p.m. on Tuesday, well within allowed construction hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But Valerie claimed decibel levels exceeded community standards. Attached professional sound meter readings taken from her property showing 92 decibels. Never mind that gas-powered lawnmowers which ran every day in neighborhood produced identical noise levels. Sixth letter, improper waste disposal. My construction debris was sorted into designated dumpster categories. Cardboard separate from wood. Metal separate from drywall. But Valerie photographed single piece of 2x4 that had fallen onto ground next to dumpster during loading. Cited it as contamination of landscaping environment. Seventh letter, unauthorized tree removal. I'd trimmed dead branches from oak tree in backyard. Branches that were diseased and dangerous. Had arborist report recommending removal. But Valerie claimed any tree modification required advance board approval, even though CC&Rs clearly stated property owners could maintain trees for safety. Eighth letter, vehicular code violation. My truck was parked facing wrong direction in my own driveway. Apparently vehicles must face forward towards street. Parking facing backward violated fire code, which wasn't even HOA jurisdiction. Ninth letter, unapproved contractor signage. Electrician had put small magnetic sign on his truck, Rodriguez Electrical Services, 8-inch by 12-inch sign. Valerie classified it as advertising prohibited under community regulations. Each letter came certified mail requiring signature. Each one included notice of pending fine starting at $175 and escalating to $450 for repeat violations. Total threatened fines, $3,200. For 9 violations that weren't actually violations. Started noticing pattern. My neighbors had same situations. Same mailbox colors. Same work trucks. Same construction mess. Same contractor signs. But they weren't getting letters. Just me. Pulled up HOA violation records public information under Colorado law and found something interesting. 6 homeowners had received identical violations in past 18 months. Mailbox colors, work trucks, construction debris, contractor vehicles. But those violations were waived in closed session board votes. No explanation recorded. Just notation, waived by unanimous consent. Then Valerie said something that made hair on neck stand up. Was checking mailbox when she pulled up in her Lexus. Stepped out wearing full tennis outfit even though it was March and 38 degrees. Walked over with clipboard and measuring tape, like sheriff serving warrant. This neighborhood has standards. Nathan, we can't have it looking like construction yard for those people who flip houses for Section 8 housing. Property values suffer when certain elements move in. Way, she said. Those people? Way, she said certain elements. I tasted metal in mouth. Adrenaline mixing with anger. Specific flavor of recognizing dog whistle when you hear one. I'm not flipping this house. I said carefully. Voice level. Professional. I'm restoring it for transitional housing. Cancer survivors. Rent free. Her face went through interesting series of expressions. Confusion. Disbelief. Contempt. Cancer survivors. You're bringing transients into this community. People who can't afford market rate housing. Cancer survivors who need safe place to recover. Non-profit program. Fully legal. She stepped closer. Voice dropped to whisper that somehow felt more threatening than yelling. Let me be very clear. Nathan, I don't know what kind of bleeding heart charity case you think you're running, but this is exclusive community. We have standards. We have expectations. And we have ways of dealing with homeowners who don't respect established order. Pause for effect. Judges should know better than anyone. There are consequences for violating rules. She knew what I did for living. Someone had told her. Small towns are like that. Gossip spreads faster than flu. She got back in Lexus, drove off, left me standing there holding certified letter number 9 and understanding this wasn't about grass height or mailbox colors. This was about power. About putting me in place. About teaching lesson to someone who dared challenge her authority. That's when I knew this wasn't going to end with polite conversations or reasonable compromises. Valerie Hammond had declared war, and I was about to learn exactly how far she'd go to win. Late March, I'm replacing electrical panel licensed electrician. Pulled permits. Everything by book. When county building inspector shows up, got complaint. Unpermitted electrical work. I show him permits. Show electrician's license. Show inspection schedule already filed. Inspector, older guy. The name tag says Rodriguez looks at paperwork, then at me. Yeah. I figured, wanna see complaint photos. Shows me tablet. Pictures of exposed wiring. Junction boxes hanging open. Electrical tape wrapped around frayed connections. Dangerous stuff. Except none of it's from my house. That's previous owner's work. I'm fixing that. That's why I hired licensed guy. Rodriguez nods slowly. I believe you, but I still got to shut you down 2 days pending reinspection. Complaints on file. Protocol. 2 days. $1,400 lost contractor time. Can I ask who filed complaint? Already knew. Rodriguez closes tablet. Lowers voice. This is 4th call from her this month. Different properties. She's persistent. After he leaves, I sit in truck and do something I should have done 4 weeks ago. Pull every HOA meeting minute for past 22 months. Public record in Colorado. Anyone can request. Most people don't know this, but Colorado Revised Statutes Section 3833.308 requires HOA records to be available for inspection within 10 business days of written request. I send formal request via certified mail that afternoon. Takes them 11 days to respond. 2 days past legal deadline. Another violation I'm documenting. When box arrives, it's full of paper. Meeting minutes. Financial statements. Board resolutions. Email chains marked privileged, even though board emails aren't privileged under Colorado law. I spend 8 hours in my truck reading bureaucratic nonsense. Coffee going cold. Highlighter wearing out. Building spreadsheet on laptop balanced on steering wheel. That's when I find it. Meeting minutes from November 15th, 2023. Closed session, vote to waive violations for 4 homeowners. Names listed: Board Member Patricia Rowe, Board Member David Chen, Board Member Susan Martinez, Former Treasurer William Burke. Violations waived identical to ones I received. Mailbox colors not meeting specification. Work vehicles in driveways. Construction debris visible. Contractor signage, but vote notation just says motion to waive violations approved 4-0. Closed session per attorney-client privilege. Except attorney-client privilege doesn't apply to financial decisions. Colorado open meetings law is crystal clear. Only personnel matters, and pending litigation can be discussed in closed session. Waiving fines is financial decision. Must be done in open session with recorded vote. This is violation of state law. I pull up next meeting. December 13th, 2023. Same pattern. 3 more waivers. Board members getting special treatment while regular homeowners, me getting fined. Find something else too. Financial statement from January 2024 shows payment to Alpine Peak Management Services for $9,400. Monthly management fee for 53 home neighborhood. Pull up industry standards from Community Associations Institute. National average for neighborhood this size, $2,700 to $3,200 monthly, depending on amenities. $9,400 is insane. Nearly triple market rate. I start digging into Alpine Peak Management Services. Colorado Secretary of State Business Registry shows Company Incorporated, March 2020. Registered Agent Christine Hammond. President Christine Hammond. Pull up property records for Christine Hammond. Lives at 4217 Oakmont Drive. 3 houses down from Valerie Hammond. Check Facebook. They're sisters. Valerie's been funneling HOA money to her sister's company for 4 years at triple market rates. Now here's something you need to know about HOA law in Colorado, and this applies in a lot of states. Board members have what's called fiduciary duty. Colorado Revised Statutes, Section 3833.308 establishes same legal standard as corporate directors under business judgment rule. You can't use position for personal gain. You can't give contracts to family members without full disclosure to homeowners and competitive bidding process. You can't charge above market rates without documented justification. Break these rules, personally liable for damages. Can be sued individually. Your personal assets house. Cars. Bank accounts all on table. Insurance doesn't cover you if you acted in bad faith or with intent to defraud. I screenshot everything. Timestamp every document. Build spreadsheet showing. Column A, industry standard management fees $2,700 monthly average. Column B, Alpine Peak's actual charges $9,400 monthly. Column C, overcharge per month $67, $100. Column D, total overcharge over 48 months $321,600. That's not accounting error. That's theft. But I don't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I do something smarter. Request copy of HOA's Directors and Officers Liability Insurance Policy. It's buried in CC&R's Section 12.4 that homeowners have right to inspect insurance documentation within reasonable time frame. Send certified mail request. Takes them 13 days to send PDF. When I open it, my jaw actually drops. Policy expired August 17th, 2023. Renewal premium was $16,800 annually. Premium wasn't paid. Insurance lapsed 6 months ago. Every board member is now personally exposed to lawsuits with zero coverage. Every decision they make can result in personal liability. Every homeowner who's been wronged can sue them individually and go after their personal assets. And Valerie doesn't seem to know. Or she knows and doesn't care because she's counting on nobody finding out. I print 4 copies of lapsed insurance policy. Pull up list of homeowners who've had waiver requests denied in past year. Homeowners who've paid fines for violations while board members got special treatment. Select 4 who seem most likely to take action. People who've spoken up at meetings. People who've filed complaints. People who aren't afraid of Valerie. Margaret Thornton, retired high school principal. 68. Denied waiver for fence height violation. Paid $750 in fines. Paul Rodriguez, veteran. 69. 3 tours. Iraq. Denied waiver for RV parking. Paid $1,200 in fines plus storage fees. David Kim, software engineer. 42. Denied waiver for solar panel installation despite it being legal under Colorado law. Paid $2,000 in legal fees fighting it. Rachel Martinez, nurse. 37. Denied waiver for home daycare which is protected under state law. Paid $1,800 in fines before winning appeal through county. I send each of them anonymous envelope. No return address. Just lapsed insurance policy with sticky note board has no coverage. You can sue them personally. All documentation is public record. Let them draw own conclusions. Within 56 hours, Margaret and Paul show up at next HOA meeting with lawyer. They bring printouts of board members' waived violations. Why did they get waivers and we didn't? Valerie goes rigid. Those were different circumstances. Different how, Paul asks. 69. Served 3 tours, Iraq. Not guy who backs down. Looks like favoritism to me. Valerie's face flushes. You're harassing HOA officers. That's finable offense. So's breach of fiduciary duty. Paul shoots back. Meeting falls apart. 3 board members resign on spot. 4 days later, I find note on truck windshield, judges shouldn't play contractor. Someone could get hurt. Hold paper to nose. Funeral lilies and Windex. My jaw tightens. She knows what I do for living now. Someone talked. Small towns are like that. Most people would back off at this point. File police report. Get restraining order. But I spent 16 months watching Catherine fight enemies she couldn't see, couldn't negotiate with, couldn't intimidate. Cancer doesn't care if you're scared, just keeps coming. I learned something from Catherine during those 16 months. When you're facing something relentless, you don't flinch. You don't blink. You outlast it. For just moment, sitting in truck staring at that threat, I honestly considered selling house, walking away, finding different project, different neighborhood. That thought scared me more than anything Valerie had done, because it meant she was winning. Made me feel like coward in Catherine's memory. Late April, I'm at courthouse. Wednesday. Full docket of traffic cases when phone rings at 2:23 p.m. It's Paul. Nathan, you need to get to your house. Something's wrong. I'm there in 38 minutes. Sheriff's cruiser in driveway. Walk in through back door. One, I always leave unlocked during day because contractors in and out see it immediately. My table saw. Power cord's been cut. Not frayed. Not damaged. Cut. Clean slice like wire cutters. In back room where I just refinished hardwood floors, there's paint thinner spilled everywhere. Cans empty. Tipped on side. Finish is bubbling and peeling. Ruined. Door to that room was locked. I know it was locked. Deputy Caitlin, young woman. Maybe late 20s, taking notes? Mr. Cross. Miss Hammond filed report this morning. Claims you threatened her at last night's HOA meeting. I starred her. I wasn't at meeting. I was in court. Pull out phone. Show calendar. I had docket until 7:15 p.m. Caitlin looks at calendar, then at notes. She said it was around 6:45. I have time-stamped court records. I was 43 miles away. Pull up courthouse parking log. Every magistrate's vehicle gets logged in and out for security. C. Logged out at 7:22 p.m. Caitlin writes this carefully. Her sister confirmed threat. Says she witnessed it. Of course she did. Valerie's sister. One billing HOA $9,400 monthly. Deputy. I'm Jefferson County Magistrate. Do you really think I'd threaten someone, especially HOA officer, knowing it would end my career? She looks at me. Long moment. No, sir. I don't. But I still have to take report. I understand. Can I file counter report vandalism? Breaking and entering. Yes, sir. But I gotta be honest. Without cameras, it's your word against circumstantial evidence. After she leaves, I sit on front porch and do math. $1,400 to repair table saw cord and buy new one. $900 to resand and refinish floor. $500 in lost time. $2,800. Not money that bothers me. It's message I can get to you anytime. That night, I'm Googling security camera systems when I remember something lawyer once told me during property dispute case in Colorado. If 10% of homeowners petition for independent audit, HOA board has to comply. State law. Can't refuse. Pull up HOA directory. 53 homes. 10% is 6 homeowners. I've got Margaret and Paul. Need 4 more. Takes me 5 days. Quiet conversations. Showing people spreadsheet. Explaining lapsed insurance. Mentioning $9,400 management fee. By Sunday, I've got 8 signatures. File petition Monday morning. Certified mail. CC'd to every homeowner. Valerie calls emergency board meeting Wednesday. Closed session illegal under Colorado's Open Meetings Act. By way, HOA boards must conduct business in open session unless discussing litigation or personnel. Financial decisions are public. Vote is 4-2 to allow audit. 3 board members terrified of personal liability now that insurance situation is public. Valerie loses. Audit gets scheduled. Will take 68 days. I've got 68 days to finish house. That night I'm packing tools when I find box I'd forgotten. Catherine's handwriting on outside house plans and dreams. Inside there's sketch she drew. Watercolor pencils. Her neat architect's handwriting labeling each room. At bottom, she wrote, "A house should be place where people heal." I sit on porch until sun goes down, holding that sketch. And I make decision. This isn't about beating Valerie anymore. It's about finishing what Catherine started. But if Valerie wants to keep coming at me, I'm patient, man. I've sat in courtrooms watching criminals talk themselves into convictions for 17 years. I know how to wait. Know how to let someone dig own hole while staying completely still. Catherine used to say, don't interrupt your enemy when they're making mistake. So, I won't. That's when I install cameras. 4 hidden units. Motion activated. Cellular connected. Battery backup. 4K resolution. 1 on each corner of property angled to cover every approach. Legal. My property. Single party consent in Colorado means I can record anything happening on my land. And I leave house unlocked during day. Not smart, right? Asking for trouble. Except that's exactly what I'm asking for. See, I'd read about this in case study once. Criminals with narcissistic tendencies can't resist returning to verify their victory. It's compulsive, especially if they think they got away with it. I'm counting on Valerie's arrogance. May 19th. 2:51 a.m. Phone rings. Paul's voice tight, Nathan. Your house is on fire. Dressed and in truck in 100 seconds. Breaking every speed limit. Drive takes 26 minutes instead of 43. Can see smoke before I even turn onto street. 4 fire trucks. Neighbors in bathrobes and pajamas. Hoses snaking across lawn. Back half of House Edition, where I'd restored Catherine's childhood bedroom, just gone. Black skeleton ribs of framing studs sticking up against orange glow. Firefighters in defensive mode. Not trying to save it, just keeping it from spreading to neighbors. I park across street, get out. Stand there. Paul walks over. Puts hand on shoulder. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't need to. Smell hits me first. Burned insulation has specific chemical stench. Plastic and fiberglass and something almost sweet like melted candy. Then crackle of cooling embers. Hiss of water hitting hot metal. And underneath it all, taste of smoke in back of throat. Fire marshal comes over around 4:17 a. M. Older guy. Soot on face. Tired eyes. Mr. Cross. I'm Marshall Henriksen. Need to ask you some questions. Okay. When's last time you were at property? Yesterday. Left around 6:30 p.m. Any electrical work being done? Space heaters? Anything causing ignition? No. House has been shut down 4 days. No power to addition at all. We disconnected it for floor refinishing. He nods slowly. That tracks with what we're seeing. Point of origin is basement window. Backside of structure. Accelerant detected. Gasoline poured through broken glass. Words hit me like cold water. This was arson. Intentional. I look at ruins. At melted window frames. At pile of ash that used to be Catherine's room. Neighbor reported seeing light-colored SUV leaving area around 2:37 a.m. Didn't get plates. Paul leans in close. Valerie drives white Lexus SUV. I saw her drive past your place 3 times yesterday afternoon. Slow. Like studying it. I file that away. Don't react. Not yet. Next 12 days are masterclass in frustration. Detective Ortega grizzled guy. Probably 57. Looks like he's seen every crime humans can commit. Takes my statement. I walk him through entire timeline. Harassment. Violations. Sabotage. False police report. Pattern. It's textbook escalation. She's desperate to stop audit. Ortega nods. Face neutral. Pattern's clear, but arson's hard to prove without physical evidence or confession. Circumstantial won't hold up. Any decent defense attorney would shred it. What about SUV sighting? Light-colored SUV. 2:37 a.m. No plates. Could be anyone. Pause. Her alibi is she was home asleep. Husband confirms. Of course he does. I've seen Valerie's husband at HOA meetings. Dentist. Quiet. Kind of guy who looks like he's been yelled at so many times he's forgotten how to have opinions. Case goes cold within 3 weeks. No arrest. No charges. Nothing. I should be angry, but I'm also something else. I'm patient, because here's what I learned in 17 years on bench criminals. Always come back to scene. They can't help it. Want to see damage? Want to confirm their work? Want to gloat. So I do 3 things. First, file insurance claim. State Farm policy maximum. Play devastated homeowner. Let Valerie think she won. Second, start cleanup. Hire crew. Begin debris removal. Act defeated in front of neighbors. Third, and this is important, 1, keep cameras running. Motion activated. Cellular connected. Recording everything. 4 days later, my phone pings. Motion alert. Camera 3. Pull up app. There she is. Valerie Hammond walking through my property at 2:34 p.m. Looking around like she owns place. Taking photos with phone. Kicking through ash pile. Then she picks up piece of melted copper pipe, puts it in her purse. I've got it all on 4K video. In Colorado, trespassing is misdemeanor, but evidence, tampering, removing, or destroying evidence from crime scene, that's felony, especially if connected to ongoing arson investigation. I'm not giving this footage to Detective Ortega yet. I'm waiting. Because here's what I've learned about people like Valerie. They can't stop. They're addicted to control, to winning, to getting away with it. She'll come back. She'll make another move. And when she does, I'll have her. Audit report lands June 7th. 71 days after fire, I'm in chambers reading traffic case files when I get email. PDF attachment. 52 pages. From Granite Peak Forensic Accounting. Colorado Springs. I open it. Executive summary. Starts page 2. Engagement period, April 12, 2024 through June 3. Launsanling Archese. Scope. Complete financial review of Pinewood Heights Homeowners Association, fiscal years 2020 through 2024. Methodology. Forensic analysis of bank statements. Vendor invoices. Board resolutions. Check images. Email correspondence. And comparative industry benchmarking. Page 8 makes me sit up straight. Finding one management fee discrepancy. Alpine Peak Management Services billed $94. 400 annually $7. Bye-bye Lo Shalo. 67 monthly average for community of 53 homes. Industry standard per Community Associations Institute, $32. 400 annually, $2. 700 monthly for equivalent services. Overcharge, $62. 000 annually. Total excess fees paid over 48-month period, $297. Liube, nearly $300,000 in overcharges. For neighborhood, that should cost $32,000 yearly to manage. Page 14 makes me whistle. Finding 2 ghost vendor invoices. Analysis of accounts payable records identified 51 invoices from Mountain View Landscaping Services, totaling $163. 400 over 38-month period. Bank records confirm payment. However, Mountain View Landscaping has no Colorado business license. Registered agent address is residential mailbox rental facility. No tax identification number on file with IRS. Phone, number disconnected. Website domain registered to Christine Hammond, Alpine Peak Management, President. No physical evidence of landscaping work performed at dates claimed photographic. Timeline analysis shows no changes to common areas during invoiced periods. Ghost company. Fake invoices. Money disappearing. Page 23 makes me laugh out loud. Finding 3 dual signature requirement violations. HOA Bylaws, Article 7, Section 4 requires dual signatures on checks exceeding $6. Ling ling ling. Review of check images from primary account shows 17 checks ranging from $6, $213, 800, with only single signature V. Hammond. President. Secondary signature line shows name W. Potter, but handwriting analysis comparing known Potter signatures from prior checks reveals different pen pressure measured via digital image enhancement, inconsistent letter formation, particularly in capital P and lowercase t, stroke direction reversal in signature loops. Timing analysis of check clearing dates shows same-day deposits inconsistent with dual signatory place, process requiring separate authorization. Conclusion signatures appear forged. Probability 94. 7% based on standard forensic handwriting metrics. 17 forged checks. Not even good forgeries. Page 28 details the reserve fund. Finding for reserve fund depletion. Per Colorado Common Interest Ownership Act, Section 38 to 33. Sen dos Sembai Shawu. HOAs must maintain reserves for major repairs. Insurance deductibles. Legal fees. Pinewood Heights Reserve Fund Analysis. Required reserve per industry standard, 40% of annual budget $207. 000 Actual reserve as of January 1. Launsenling Arsher, eBay Joshaba Yuan. 400 within acceptable range. Actual reserve as of June 1. Launsenling Arshasi Lo Meyen. Sembe. Funds transferred out via 23 checks marked emergency repairs, totaling $192. 100 over 42-month period. However, no contractor invoices supporting emergency repair claims, no board meeting minutes documenting emergency repair authorizations, no building permits filed for major repair work, no building permits, photographic evidence of repairs performed. Homeowner surveys indicate no awareness of emergency repairs. Transfer pattern analysis shows withdrawals occurring 5 to 7 days after large deposits from quarterly HOA dues, suggesting systematic fund siphoning rather than legitimate emergency response. They stole reserve fund systematically, waited for dues to come in, then transferred it out before anyone noticed. Page 34 gets into consultant fees, finding 5 undisclosed related party transactions. Bank records show 34 payments totaling $42. 300 from Alpine Peak Management to V. Hammond Consulting LLC, over 26-month period, payments categorized as professional consulting fees ranging from $800 to $2. 100 per month. However, no consulting contract on file with HOA, no scope of work documentation, no deliverables or work product documented, no board authorization in meeting minutes. V. Hammond Consulting LLC shares business address with Alpine Peak Management, same office suite. Valerie Hammond is both HOA president receiving oversight and consultant receiving payments. Colorado Revised Statutes 38 to 33. 3 to 308 requires full disclosure of related party transactions and must be approved by disinterested board members. No such disclosure or approval found in records. This constitutes breach of fiduciary duty and potential self-dealing prohibited under state law. Kickbacks disguised as consulting fees. Page 41 summarizes financial impact. Total identified misappropriation. Excess management fees, $297. 600. Ghost vendor invoices, $163. 400. Undisclosed consultant payments, $42. 300. Reserve fund depletion unaccounted, $192. Sen total, 690. Sing, 400 over 48-month period. However, due to limitations in record availability, missing bank statements for 7 months. Deleted email correspondence. Destroyed physical files per board secretary's testimony. Actual losses may exceed documented amounts by estimated 15-25%. Nearly 700,000 stolen from 53 families. That's 13,000 per household over 4 years. Page 48 contains auditor's professional opinion. Based on forensic analysis methodology consistent with standards established by Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, the patterns observed suggest intentional misappropriation rather than accounting error. Specific indicators. E. Systematic timing of fund transfers to avoid detection. 2. Deletion of electronic records during audit request period 3. Creation of shell vendor entities with false documentation. 4. Forgery of authorization. Signatures 5. Commingling of personal and HOA funds. 6. Concealment of related party relationships. We recommend immediate referral to law enforcement for criminal investigation and consultation with legal counsel regarding board members' personal liability for breach of fiduciary duty, conversion of funds, and potential wire fraud violations. Auditor didn't just find accounting errors, found crime scene, with evidence trail leading straight to Valerie Hammond. I-forward audit to all 53 homeowners with subject line HOA audit results. Please review immediately. Within hour, my phone starts buzzing. Email chains exploding. Text messages flooding in. Margaret, this is criminal. We need to call police. Paul, I'm getting lawyer. Want to join class action. David Kim. The reserve fund was supposed to cover our new roofs. Where did our money go? Rachel Martinez. My husband is CPA. He says this is textbook embezzlement. By evening, there's recall petition circulating. Online form collecting signatures. Needs 27 signatures to trigger recall election. 51% of homeowners has 42 signatures within 3 hours. By evening, there's recall petition circulating. By next morning, 4 board members resign. Potter treasurer, whose signature got forged, files police report for identity theft and fraud. Community meeting 5 days later is standing room only. 37 homeowners show up. Conference room smells like burnt coffee and rage sweat. Valerie brings lawyer. Expensive suit. Slicked back hair. Kind of guy who bills $480 hourly to say no comment. Her defense. Accounting errors. My sister's bookkeeper made mistakes. We'll pay it back. Margaret stands up. You stole $163,000 and you're calling it mistake. Valerie's face goes red. I didn't steal anything. This is witch hunt orchestrated by people who hate following rules. Paul stands up next. You forged Potter's signature 17 times. That's felony. Lawyer puts hand on Valerie's shoulder. Tries to quiet her. She shakes him off. This is ridiculous. I've given 5 years of my life to this community, and this is how you treat me? I'm sitting in back row. Haven't said word. Just watching. That's when phone buzzes. Text from courthouse clerk for your information. Traffic case scheduled for you, July 9th. Castellane versus Hammond. Reckless driving. I read it twice. Close eyes. Smile. Valerie doesn't know yet. But in 23 days, she'll be standing in my courtroom, and I'll be wearing the robe. July 2nd, 8:47 p.m. Knock on my condo door. Not expecting anyone. Check peephole. It's Valerie. My address isn't public. Don't use it on any HOA documents. She had to dig. Property records, maybe? Or followed me. Either way. Borderline stalking. I open door. Don't invite her in. She looks terrible. Hair not styled. Makeup smudged. Yoga pants and oversized sweatshirt. This is not put together HOA president I met in February. Nathan, please. I need to talk to you. You should talk to your attorney. Not me. Please. Voice cracks. 5 minutes. Against better judgment. I step into hallway. Pull door mostly closed behind me, not letting her inside. And I'm wearing body camera. Small unit clipped to shirt pocket. Recording legal in Colorado. Single party consent. If I'm part of conversation, I can record it. What do you want? Valerie. She takes shaky breath. I'll resign from HOA. I'll step down. My sister will return money. Not all of it. We don't have all of it, but 100,000. Good faith payment. Pause. I'll drop defamation suit. I'll drop ethics complaint against you. I don't say anything. Just wait. Just tell DA to drop charges. You're magistrate. They'll listen to you. I'm municipal magistrate. Traffic violations. Small claims. I have zero authority over felony prosecutions. And even if I did, what you're asking is obstruction of justice. Her face twists. You're destroying my life over few rule violations. Over some accounting errors. Your insurance paid for house. You're fine. But you can't just let it go. Can you? Accounting errors. My voice stays level. Calm. You stole $163,000. You forged signatures 17 times. You committed arson. I didn't, she stops. Breathes. Fire was accident. I just wanted to scare you. I didn't think it would spread that far. There it is. She just confessed on camera. You wanted to scare me by setting my house on fire. I'm repeating it, making sure it's clear for recording. She realizes what she said. Eyes go wide. I didn't mean, that's not Valerie. You need to leave now. And you need to get attorney. Criminal defense attorney? Not guy handling your defamation suit. Someone who specializes in felonies. You're ruining my life. She's yelling now. Mascara running. Voice echoing in hallway. Over fire. Your insurance paid for it. It was just property. It was my wife's dream. And you burned it to ground because I asked for audit. She starts crying. Then crying turns to screaming. You think you're so righteous. You think you're better than me. You're just... I think you should go. She sees camera clipped to shirt. Reaches for it. I step back. Don't. She freezes. Stares at camera. At me. Then she runs down hallway. Through stairwell door. I go back inside. Lock door. Sit on couch. Download video to 3 separate drives. And wait. Next morning. July 3rd. 11:23 a.m. Valerie is arrested at her real estate office. Charges: arson. Class 3 felony. Evidence tampering. Class 6 felony. Criminal trespass. Attempted bribery of public official. theft of HOA funds over 100,000. Class 2 felony. Bail hearing that afternoon set at 87,000 cash. Her husband doesn't show up. Files for divorce same day. She posts bail using what's left of HOA slush fund account, which means they add another theft charge 53 hours later. Local news runs Story HOA president arrested for arson. Embezzlement. Lead story. 6 p.m. Broadcast. They interview Margaret. She's calm, articulate. This isn't about petty HOA disputes. This is about public official who abused position, stole from community, and committed arson when someone asked questions. They interview Detective Ortega. He holds up still image from my security footage. Valerie standing in burned ruins taking copper pipe. Evidence speaks for itself. They try to interview Valerie. Her attorney issues statement. Miss Hammond maintains her innocence and looks forward to her day in court. That night, I drive out to house. Reconstruction's almost done. Insurance money came through. Contractors worked fast. Additions rebuilt. New framing. New windows. Bedroom Catherine sketched is taking shape. I stand in what will be living room and try to feel something. Triumphant. Vindicated. Satisfied. I just feel tired. Catherine would have handled this differently. Would have been graceful. Diplomatic. Would have found way to resolve it without anyone going to jail. But then I remember other homeowners, ones whose reserve fund Valerie stole. Families she threatened. Culture of fear she created. And I realize justice isn't revenge. It's making sure she can't do this to anyone else. Phone buzzes. Court clerk. Reminder, traffic docket tomorrow. 9 a.m. Hammond case. I read it 3 times. Tomorrow, July 9th. 8:52 a.m. I'm in chambers, putting on robe. Black polyester. Zipper up front. Colorado State seal on left breast. I've worn this thing 1,000 times. Should feel normal. Today, it feels like armor. Check docket one more time. Case number 2, 4TRC 9127. City of Denver versus Valerie Hammond. Reckless driving. 96 in 55. School zone adjacent. Ticket issued April 23rd. 15 days after arson. Walk into courtroom 4B at 8:58. Gallery is packed. Municipal traffic court doesn't usually draw crowds. Most days, maybe 6 people. Defendants waiting. Occasionally, family member. Today, there are 38 people in gallery. I recognize faces. Margaret. Paul. Potter. 9 other HOA homeowners. Reporter from local news with photographer. Detective Ortega in back row. Arms crossed. Watching. And at defense table, Valerie Hammond and her attorney, not her criminal attorney, different one. This is just traffic ticket, so she hired cheaper representation. Guy in wrinkled suit. Probably 3 years out of law school. Looks nervous. Valerie's facing away when I enter. Bailiff calls out, "All rise." Court is in session. Honorable Magistrate Cross, presiding. She stands. Turns, sees me. Color drains from face in stages. Spray tan orange to pale pink to courthouse marble. Mouth opens. Closes. Opens again. No sound. I take bench. Sit. Arrange papers. Courtroom smells like floor wax and old legal briefs. Air conditioning hums. I can hear Valerie's shallow breathing from 17 feet away. Good morning. Court is in session. Case number 24, TRC 9127. City of Denver versus Valerie Hammond. Defendant present. Her attorney stands. Yes, Your Honor. Miss Hammond, you're charged with reckless driving, exceeding posted speed limit by 41 mph in school zone. How do you plead? Her attorney tries to speak. Your Honor, given my client's current legal circumstances, we request continuance to denied. Don't let him finish. This court's jurisdiction is limited to traffic matters. Your client's other legal issues are irrelevant to today's proceeding. Miss Hammond, how do you plead? Valerie's voice barely audible. Not guilty. Thank you. Prosecution, you may present. City attorney woman named Sarah Tatum. Smart, efficient, no nonsense stands up. Your Honor, people submit dash cam footage from Officer Rodriguez's patrol vehicle, timestamped April 23rd at 3:14 p.m. She plays video on courtroom monitor, crystal clear. Valerie's white Lexus SUV doing 96 and 55. Speedometer in patrol car, visible on screen. Kids visible on sidewalk near school crossing. Video also shows Valerie throwing lit cigarette out window. Littering. When Officer Rodriguez pulls her over, she makes obscene gesture at him before stopping. Gallery murmurs. Sarah sits down. People rest. I look at defense attorney. Your witness may testify if she wishes. He stands. Clears throat. Your Honor, my client admits she was speeding, but maintained speedometer in her vehicle was malfunctioning. She was unaware of actual speed. Miss Hammond, did you not notice you were passing other vehicles traveling at normal speed? She stares at me. Doesn't answer. Miss Hammond, I was distracted. Were you aware you were in school zone? Signs are posted 600 feet in advance. I don't remember. Did Officer Rodriguez inform you of your speed at time of stop? Yes. And what did you say when he told you? Her attorney stands. Objection. Relevance. Overruled. Miss Hammond, answer question. She looks at Lap. I told him I had personal problems and he should leave me alone. What personal problems were distracting you on April 23rd? Long silence. Miss Hammond, I was dealing with issues at work. Issues serious enough to endanger children's lives, but not serious enough to prevent you from driving. No answer. I let silence hang. 12 seconds. 20. Miss Hammond, I find you guilty of reckless driving as charged. Fine of $1,300. 7 points on license. Mandatory driver improvement course for littering offense. An additional $600 fine for reckless endangerment in school zone. 48 hours community service. Valerie stands up. Voice cracks. This is bias. You're punishing me because of HOA. Courtroom goes silent. I lean forward. Keep voice calm. Miss Hammond, I have presided over 1,600 traffic cases in this courtroom. Every defendant who endangered children in school zone receives this penalty. You are not special. You are not exempt. You are not victim. Pause. Difference is, most defendants show remorse. Her face twists with rage. You think you're so righteous. You're just, gavel comes down once, sharp crack. Contempt of court. Additional $600 fine. Deputy, please escort defendant out. Deputy Caitlin, same deputy from false police report months ago, walks over. Valerie's crying now. Shoulders shaking. Caitlin takes her arm gently, leads her toward door. Gallery sits frozen. As door closes behind Valerie, there's beat of silence. Then quiet applause breaks out. I don't acknowledge it. Just gather papers. Rise. Exit through side door. Crack of gavel still echoes in ears. October 21st, 9 months after fire. Valerie takes plea deal. Her attorney calls it pragmatic. DA calls it justice. She pleads guilty to arson and evidence tampering. Other charges dropped as part of agreement. Sentencing: 5 years prison. 4 suspended. 1 year served. Then 4 years probation. 900 hours community service after release. Full restitution: $134,000. Payment plan over 12 years. Permanent restraining order from Pinewood Heights. Colorado Real Estate Commission revokes license permanently. HOA's civil lawsuit settles. Valerie's sister's management company pays $201,000. Company declares bankruptcy. Sister's assets seized. New board elected. Margaret president. Potter treasurer. Management fee slashed from $9,400 to $2,300 monthly. Dues reduced 43%. House gets finished. February 20th. 11 months after fire. I mount brass plaque next to front door Catherine's house, built with love. Restored with purpose. First resident moves in 4 days later. Shayla, 36. Breast cancer survivor. Single mom. 2 kids, Marcus 10 and Lily 8. Rent-free 12 months. Catherine's dream. With restitution money, I create nonprofit Catherine Fund. Mission Transitional Housing for Cancer Survivors. First year, we help 17 families. Launch Pinewood Hope Festival. Summer block party. Food trucks. Music. Raised $43,000. Valerie's crime unified community and created lasting good. Catherine would appreciate that irony. I'm sitting on porch at sunset. Shayla's kids playing in yard. Margaret's inside making dinner. Paul's coming for chess. This is what Catherine wanted. Not revenge. Just people healing together. She tried to burn down my wife's dream to protect her theft. So I built that dream anyway, and used her restitution money to help 17 more families heal. God bless Colorado law. And the authority she thought I didn't have, turned out it was just patience she couldn't understand.